to have 4G, of course. My leg. We don't want to see my leg. my, oh yeah, that was my beautiful white leg. Sorry about that. Well, I'm a man, so it's not really anything that should have any sensual thing, hopefully. But that was absolutely so we're talking in regards of meat in the carnivore corner on the Facebook in regards of some guy. Actually, the person actually started the link. Apparently, the person, which is a woman, started the to post this, and so I didn't know that. But anyway, she posted it. Apparently she's an administrator. Apparently, so I look into this video and all that, and I write my opinion. Let's see here what we have. One of the things was I said, was he not the very one promoting the meat diet, and now he says he felt bad on it while making videos promoting it? What a bullshitter. Yeah, what a bullshitter, You have to be kidding me. So he's the guy was promoting the meat diet, and in this video he says that he felt bad on the meat diet, and it was even hard for him to make the videos and all that. So you're promoting something and you're feeling bad. I'll give me a break. What kind of bullshit? If you're feeling bad, why are you promoting the thing anyway? There's so many things that didn't make sense in that video. So it talks about getting candida from eating meat, and I'm like, that sounds fishy as well, because candida loves sugar. But anyway, right, candida from eating meat, ... Candida loves sugar. It grows on sugar, not zero sugar meat, ... Anyway, so someone says, Candida can feed on everything. And I write back, don't give me the bullshit. I know what feeds this monster, and not by experience. Red meat is the best thing I ever tried, and sugar, alcohol, or bread is the worst. So, that's as far as I know. So, so apparently the one actually making the topic, this woman, she writes to me, while Candida thrives on sugar, it can still manifest in an unbalanced but microbiome, as to say a poorly devised carnivore diet. Again, I don't know, of course, I don't know everything and all that, but, looking at in regards to the sugar, sugar is something that the fungus loves. It loves it. It's just, it's just it just loves it. Anyway, meat, not so much, because there's no sugar in it. Anyway, but he was talking about different things that I don't buy it. So I told her, that she said, well, Candida thrives on sugar. It can still manifest in an unbalanced but microbiome, as to say a poorly devised carnivore diet. And I said to her, would like some proof of that. Sugar is the culprit of fungus, not meat. And she says, fungus loves ketones as much as it does sugar. Really? Again, I would like some proof on that, Now, I don't know in regards of overall how the totally body fit out so much disinformation out there. In regards of ketones and all that, there's different tests in regards of what the Candida loves and all that. And the Candida can survive a long, long time. One of these guys on the YouTube was, looking how long it took to starve the fungus, the fungi. And I do also wonder in regards of it probably still have spores, right? And the spores can probably, survive, so if you just give it some sugar again, it would just probably just blow up again. But anyway, it'd be interesting to research Candida, and get the facts instead of the, all these different things and all that. But she says, fungus love ketones as much as it does sugar. And then what did she do? She closed the comments for the thing. Yeah, how am I going to respond to that then? That's okay. That's okay. That's how we are discussing a subject, apparently. Just close the topic. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of bullshitters out there that tries to, stir people in one way and the other way and so forward. Doug Kaufman, which is sadly a Roman papist, but Doug Kaufman has like 50 years experience nearly, or something like that. 50 years of experience in regards of fungus. Now he is a Roman papist, so you spit out the Roman bones, but you eat the meat in regards of his knowledge on fungus, because he really knows a lot on that topic, because he himself had, issues and thereby went on that road to find a solution for that, because you want to find a solution when you have a problem. Anyway, but that's from Know the Cause, and there's a lot of free information from him. Anyway, so fungus love ketones as much as it does sugar. I have, do you have any proof of that? I'm just, but what does she do? Close the topic. I can't reply to her. Of course, I could write to her and say, could you give me some evidence for that? One thing is to. So apparently the same person that closed the topic, so you couldn't write, is the same person that put it on, and apparently is an administrator, in this place in regards of, isn't that interesting? In regards to the Carnivore Corner private group in regards of Facebook. But I think that's very interesting. Why would she close the? Why would she close? Close the. So one cannot respond. Isn't that, just, answer and then close the topic, So I have no possible, way of writing back. In regards of other things that I found interesting in regards of what he said was in regards of zinc. Well, as zinc kills Candida, not promoted, So I'll write, zinc kills Candida, not promoted. So he has really some weird things going on. There was one thing in regards of, on his own words, he eats unclean meat according to the instructions of Jehovah. That was in regards of, he talks about eating unclean foods, and he talks about eating foods that are unclean. He doesn't say it's unclean, but he says he's eating it, right? And according to the Bible, these things that he's eating are considered unclean according to the Bible. So, maybe there was a problem there. I don't know, but just overall to promote something and then afterwards say, oh, you actually felt bad and it was really hard to actually make the videos because you felt so bad. And yet you are promoting the diet. You have to be kidding me. What is, just give me a break, That just doesn't make sense either. So anyway, overall, I write here, overall, the meat-only diet has helped me more than anything else in regards of diet, And I wish I knew about it a lot earlier. So, ... And the information he provides seems to be conflicting with what I know already. In any case, I would love to eat other things, but keeping to the meat seems to get the best results with zero sugar. And that was some of the things that I wrote. But apparently, the one that posted the video closed closed the topic. What's the idea with that? If you post a video, we're not allowed to discuss the video, in regards of, or maybe there was too much truth coming out, or I don't know, in regards of taking. It's interesting how that guy just, personally, I was never, there's a lot of people that can't stand looking at that guy. yeah, but whatever, but just turning around like that, on a platter like 180 degrees, That's curious, isn't it? We have to remember there's a lot of bullshitters out there working for the system, and who knows? I don't know, but you never know. There's a lot of weird things happening when you get in there and slice it up in some sense, where your things are removed, or things are closed down, again, it's interesting. At least my posts are not deleted, but it's interesting that the person would close it down. I find that very interesting. See here what she writes in another place. Not sure why everyone is getting angry over this. He is essentially saying that for you to be successful on the carnivore diet, it isn't sufficient to only eat red muscle meat. We must include other foods so as to ensure we don't get nutrition toxicity and nutrient deficiency. And, of course, I do eat other things like antifungal things and all that. So I don't eat only meat. But I do know that when I only eat meat, that was the best results in regards of my downstairs problem. And actually, I could turn it nearly totally off, And that was interesting. And I found out that just a little bitsy sugar could turn it on. So I remember in the beginning of the carnivore diet, where I just ate lamb chops and so forth, that if I just had, butter, eggs, even eggs, I would, and I was like, eggs, and looking at it, is there sugar in eggs? And yeah, some of the eggs says there's a little sugar actually in it. Butter, I was like, how much butter? Oh, there's a little sugar in that as well. And I tried to look at these butter without lactose, or because I was thinking, that should be low, really nearly zero on sugar, right? But no, I pretty much have the same. I don't know why it still have sugar in it. I don't know if they added something. I would maybe have thought that what might be but anyway, whatever. But it's apparently still have sugar. I don't know if they added anything in regards to that. Then, of course, there's standard fat that you can take that's without sugar, but that's hard to get in Denmark. Very interesting, right? That tallow is very, pretty much impossible to get. If you want tallow, you need to buy some meat that you can make the tallow for yourself. Incredible. And, of course, it's hard to get meat without, it's hard to get meat that you can be sure is not slaughtered to Allah, which is false god. We have defiled food everywhere in this world, or in this country. Anyway, that of course Christians are told not to eat. So not to defile themselves. But yeah, there was the thing that is called ghee, that's made from butter that has zero sugar. But I must say I don't really like it. And also, the fat does seem to can make more issues in regards of the getting diarrhea and all that. So if you just eat the meat, that seems to be the safest thing in regards of not getting diarrhea. So, but I don't know why the person, closed it down. I would if I had the resources and I could find the source that, well, actually, I think I actually can find the source. But if I had the resources, I would probably just eat lamb chops. That was just so tasty, In the oven with a plastic bag and all that, and, moisture and all that, and 1.5 kilo of lamb chop. Yummy, 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 yummy. That was very good. But then I found out it was halal, and, and I knew there was something going on in regards to the spiritual, and I know I did something else that was wrong as well. So, I might have, both things might have helped in regards of opening up to the demonic world. So opening myself up to attacks because I did things that I shouldn't do. But yeah, okay. Of course, it will be interesting, going further in regards of these things. But some of the information just sounded weird, and then defending that Candida is, no, Candida doesn't like meat. It's zero sugar. But, people believe that Candida can, whatever. At least in regards of experience that I've had, it's, I could control my downstairs issues with just eating only meat. Why would that be? Well, maybe because I'm not feeding the fungi, And in regards to the explosion I had with this fungi, because I went to the bakery and bought things 5 days in a row, and it just totally exploded on me from my breast and out in my body, and I had itching all over, which I still have, but a lot less than I had after I've been on Diflucan for nearly 4 weeks, and that helped. And I'm on antifungals, and I know I should not eat any sugar, because if I eat any sugar, it's very, very, very low in sugar. I still have some things that are very low in sugar just to give the fiber things and all that. But the best results I actually have gotten was, on meat only. Now, of course, if I could, I would, I haven't been on, an only meat diet for years and years and years and all that. So, and I wouldn't, if I could eat other things, I would do it, I'm not totally like radical in regards of, eating only meat and all that. If I can eat other things that is also antifungal and all that, I don't have a problem with that, But the best results I got in regards of downstairs was absolutely only eating meat. And they, I remember, I think it was in the 70s when they began to figure out that fungus was a problem. And I saw these doctors on this show, all the way into the 70s, and yet the doctors have no clue nowadays. It's like, because, whatever. But he talks about that you can actually starve the fungi, which, but it takes half a year, I think it was, half a year for starving the fungi. You really have to be low on sugar. And he also talks about this, low on sugar, So when people say that I would like to see some evidence that Candida can live on, can live on meat. We know that it loves sugar. That's for sure. I was asking Doug Kaufman in regards of, because I was researching this thing, and apparently Candida had another name, which I can't remember. There was something with an M when I, looked up in the medical dictionary, which I don't have. I only had a month free. Then of course I could have paid for it. There was a what do you call it, 200. That was a cheaper thing. But I didn't think But it would be nice, to have a medical book, to look up things when you're researching. Because usually it's not because it's hard to understand the things, if they just had written in English, instead of Latin and Greek and all the rest of the bullshit things that they use, then it wouldn't actually be so hard. But because of their language that they use Latin and Greek words and whatever and all that, it becomes kind of not easy to understand. And you need to have a dictionary, a special medical dictionary. So, yeah, we are having meat here, I bought a good meat thing. Anyway, yeah. Was it so if you actually look on that name, you can actually find a lot of research articles on Candida as well. It was something with Amelina, I can't even remember. And it's incredible how much more you can forget just not being on the topic for some weeks, I took a break less than a month ago. I took a break from researching fungus and all that, and I was like, I need a break from all this. So I've been doing some other things in regards of HTML, and you know, I had this thing that I bought a year ago and I never got to it, and so I had to pay for support again. And I'm trying to set up a video player, an MP3 player on the website, so I can get some information out that way. Because of course YouTube are loving to ban people, right? Because of hate speech. Because I'm really a big hate speecher apparently. So anyway, yeah, there's a lot of people that was kicked out from YouTube at that point, or suspended, right? Not a single strike, you're just suspended for hate speech. Not what in regards of what I said was hate speech or anything. You don't get anything, you know. You don't want just, oh, hate speech out, you know. Okay. So, but whatever. So I've been sitting there and trying to fix it, and I found out that the 2 applications that I was trying to fix in regards to the homepage was out of date. So I had to struggle in regards of, you know, getting the new updates. And I'm now sitting with that and trying to update the code. And there's a huge amount of things that needs to be ticked in and all that. There's a huge amount of, play around in regards of it. And of course, there's a huge amount of options, you know, that needs to be set up and all that. And then, of course, you need to put in, you know, some things in it as well. And I need to know how it works and the new edition and all that. And so I'm still at work with that, or toying around with that. I've, of course, continued with the antifungals. I do resveratrol at the moment. I had problems with the resveratrol getting diarrhea, but I found out that I was taking too much, you know. And actually, if you get grape, you know, resveratrol from grapes, you might not have that problem even if you took those large doses. The problem is this is from nutweed, and it is said that there's apparently something in nutweed that if it's not removed from the resveratrol, it can give you diarrhea. And it's even 99% resveratrol, this thing. But apparently, maybe there's enough of the other thing that it makes you get diarrhea, you know, when you take a little more than advised on the package, I guess. So, but I've gone to the dose that they suggest, and you know, and it seems to work without getting diarrhea, you know. A great way to get diarrhea. If you want to get diarrhea, you know, that's, you know, just take too much of resveratrol in regards of, you know, from nutweed. But it would be interesting to try resveratrol from grapes and see if the same thing would happen. You know, it's said to be more expensive, and I'm not sure if I can find it anywhere, but it should be out there somewhere. I did do a research, but I never found something that was 100% grape, you know, from grapes. The thing is, nutweed has a lot of this resveratrol, but it also has this other thing that can give you diarrhea. So if you get it from grapes, apparently it doesn't have this diarrhea thing. And I guess in theory, you might be able to take a huge amount compared to the resveratrol. You know, and apparently some companies are better to take this diarrhea thing out of the resveratrol than others. Looks good. Looks good. That's the meat. Oh yeah, gonna have a look on the meat. That's the meat. Looks pretty good. I think it's pretty much done, I think. I'm not sure what kind of meat, you know, overall, if it's rough or something like that. I'll figure out, you know. Not really nice to have a steak, you know. Usually the cheapest option that I go for is in regards of chopped meat or whatever. You know, there's enough, you know, ribeye. Oh, ribeye is good. Ribeye is wonderful. Love ribeyes. That's the, you know, greatest fast food ever. You know, that's ribeyes. 2 minutes on one side, 2 minutes of 2 to 3 minutes. You know, depends on the thickness of the ribeye, and you have a wonderful yeah, wonderful eating and no sugar, you know. And just salt it to the taste. And then water. In any case, so yeah, interesting that she would close the thing, you know, so I have no possibility of writing back. I would like to see some information about all these, you know, I've heard that, you know, I heard from others that, you know, that Candida loves, you know, that can, you know, in regards to meat and all that. Wow. Oh yeah, by the way, in regards to the other name that the Candida had was in regards of fruit fungus. You know, fungus that attacks fruit, and what is in fruit? Sugar, yeah. So it was known as, what was it, Molania or something like Monilla or something like that. I have it on Facebook. Again, it's incredible how quickly one can forget things, you know, when one does another topic, you know. But I just had to have a break from all this fungus things and all that. But I think it was Monella or something like that, that Candida was known in the past. So you can find a lot of interesting articles, and of course some of them you need to pay for, and just, you know. But in any case, so and Monella is, you know, in regards of fruit fungus. So if you search on that word, you see a lot of fruit that, you know, begins to rot, and you see the fungus. It's actually very interesting in some sense. You know, you see these fruits, but you never really give it any thought. It's incredible how complex this world is. You know, it's just incredible. But yeah, because I was thinking in regards of, you know, they're talking about this Auris candida. And they talked about that it was in the whole room of this place. And I was thinking, how does, you know, can Candida just, you know, flow around or what? You know, how did it get all over the room? You know, they said every place, you know, up, up there and down on the bed and whatever. Every place they checked in that room had this Auris Candida. And I'm like, how did it get around in that room? You know? You know, how does it spread? You know, there must be a way, you know, that it's spreading around, right? Being airborne or something like that? Is the spores airborne? Yeah, well, I guess they're small enough to actually be able to fly around, you know. And I was thinking, okay, so it has actually been known as a fruit fungus, Candida. And I'm like, do they find Candida in fruit, you know? It's just, you know, the thing is, it's hard to get the information. Yeah. Because, of course, that would make sense in regards if you're eating a lot of fruit, you know, with a lot of sugar, and if Candida is a fruit hunter, you know, I don't know. That's just, in any case. But in regards of starving it, in regards of the doctors that was on this show from the 70s, and he also wrote The Yeast Connection, I think he wrote. So that's one of them that was on the show. I think one of them is probably dead. I think the other might be alive. That was a woman. But anyway, he talked about this thing in regards of starving it, if I remember correctly. But it's like you need to starve it for 6 months. And if you skip one day, you have to start over. So if you just, you know, if you fall in one day, you need to start over. Because then you have fed the fungi again. And then you have to start over. And again, I don't know if you can actually starve it. If you know, I've had this for 19 years. Now in the beginning, I'm sure I could probably just have starved it and the body would have corrected the thing much more quickly. But when you have had it for 19 years and you don't know what it is, you know, and the doctors just want to send you on psychotropic drugs and all that bullshit, and, you know, think you're a nutcase or whatever, you know, it's a little harder to get over it. You know, four weeks with diflucan and 2 weeks before that on nystatin, and I continued on the nystatin, and then all these other antifungals that I've been taking, and you know, it's Cloves, for example, antifungal, full of antioxidants, number one actually, in antioxidants and phenols. I can't remember what phenols does, but I think it was something good. But I can't remember. But number one in phenols and antioxidants in regards to cloves. Now this is the oil, so I'm not sure if there's any, but in regards of eating them and all that, that should be number one in regards of there's some sugar in it, as I understand, in regards of the eatable. I don't know, this is oil, so there should be nothing in that. So, doing that and doing resveratrol and doing cinnamon as well. Cinnamon, yeah. And the bicarbonate thing, I had it anyway, right? So I didn't need to buy anything. I had it in the house. So I was like, hey, let's give it a go, So yeah, avocados is low on sugar. Cucumber low on sugar, but there is still some sugar in it. You can also get some coconut milk, which is very low in sugar as well. But again, a little sugar in it. Here we have the cinnamon, for example. This is the cheap cinnamon that they say is fake cinnamon and dangerous for the liver and all that. Well, as far as I can see, it's only based on one article in Germany. And in regards of mice. Yeah. So, anyway, so apparently that was enough to just totally bang on the doors on the bakeries and, get after them in regards to the most healthiest thing they have in the bakery, Yeah. That's the Food Administration, state government bullshit, as usual. That's those that don't want us to have real milk, Yeah, we need to pasteurize, to give the milk a Hitler treatment. We need to kill the living Jews. And I like Jews, so I would like to have living, Jew milk, So, no Holocaust for me. No Holocaust milk for me or cheeses and all that. I like to have some natural, we're destroying everything. Whatever, it's incredible how man destroy what God have created, just how we're treating the animals, how we are feeding them, unnatural food sources, and antibiotics, which is fungal poison and all that, and pushing their milk production to the limit, quantity over quality. And then when the milk comes out, and there might be a problem with the milk because we have been doing all these things to the animals, let's just warm it up and destroy enzymes and vitamins and good bacteria. Yep. And afterwards, the bad guys begins to grow in the milk. And the good guys are not there, so they, incredible. What utter nonsense we're doing in this world. It is utterly diabolical. Getting people sick, which is unnecessary because bullshitters are out there. And yeah, anyway. I just don't understand why she would close it, Let's talk about it, yeah, hey. No, we can't talk about it, apparently. Give me some evidence that Candida loves meat, I was like, I don't get that. You got Candida by eating meat? I just don't get that, It's, you're not, there's no sugar in it. Anyway. And how do you then expect those doctors in the past talking about, well, in regards of starving it and all that, with diet and all that, not feeding it what it likes and all that? Okay, they were wrong, apparently, I guess. Not that, doctors can have different opinions and all that, right? But these guys were on the fungi thing, and researching fungi because they understood They understood there was a problem in regards of giving antibiotics because you were destroying the good bacteria and then the fungi could run amok. So they were trying to help patients that had problems. Anyway, it's interesting to see they already knew about it in the 17th. I think it was from the 17th. And yet it's still a problem that is just looked over, because there's lots of mammon to be earned and a lot of people to murder, right? Because the Satanists believe we're too many people in the world anyway. So let's make people suffer and kill them and get some resources at the same time and then look like the good guys when we murder the people. That doesn't make sense to me. But, this is a nutcase world, It's not, you would think that, the nutcases was in this building, right? No. The nutcases are not in a building. They're all over the country, They're not in the nutcase building, they're all around, they're running around all the way, Everywhere in Denmark, they're running around. Now, of course, not only in Denmark, pretty much, a lot of the Western world, these nutcases are running around, Murdering people and getting salary for it. I guess it's paid murder, And then they get the credit of saving lives while they're feeding cancer patients sugar, which is utterly criminal and diabolical, It's murder. Yeah, so you have a fungus infection and then you feed people sugar. Yeah, that sounds like a very bad idea. Yeah, but we need the bed for another patient, right? So just kill this patient off a little quicker, right? And let you have to be kidding me. What an insane world we live in. What an utter disgusting world we live in. Yeah, but we don't know what cancer is. So how do you give cancer to mice, rats, and rabbits? Oh, you feed them. Oh, you give them. Oh. What's that for? Something with fungus there? Oh, no, we can't talk about that, right? We know how to give it to animals, and yet we even in regards to the Food Administration side talking about mycotoxins. If you ingest mycotoxins every day on a longer period, you can get cancer from it. Oh, what did you say? And other things, actually. They just mentioned cancer. I would wonder why they wouldn't mention anything else. They just say cancer and, other things. I was like, what other things are you talking about? Are we not allowed to know that? And they bring up cancer, right? So they took one of them, cancer. So what about the rest, Are we talking about, maybe diabetes? Or, brain thing issues and all that, and many other things, Anyway, but at least they wrote in regards of cancer. So how do you get cancer? Mycotoxins and spores. Yep. The mycotoxins make your immune system, so the spores can survive. It's just, they want their babies to survive. So if you have something cancer, don't drink alcohol, don't eat any sugar. Try to get less on sugar. And if it's the beginning of a problem in regards of fungus and all that it has just began in some sense, you have the possibility to turn the build around a lot easier than one that had it for a long, long time. So, if I had knew what I know now 19 years ago, I would most likely have been very, very, very easy to turn it around, Just stop drinking alcohol, stop smoking, and stop eating things with sugar. Now, of course, in regards to the milk I drank was what? Pasteurized milk. That probably didn't help on it either. Destroying our food sources and our nutrition in the food sources. It's like quantity over quality. Doesn't matter how it tastes. We just need to sell it and all that. Incredible. If you actually have real food out in your yard and the taste is so much different, like a cucumber. A cucumber from Spain tastes like water. It actually tastes bad compared to what you get if you make your own. Now, cucumbers from Denmark taste better than those from Spain. Yet they still don't taste as good as those that I've tried from, the garden. And I'm a person that eats cucumbers, whole cucumbers, that's just me. I love those. Just if you do it before you go to bed, you might need to go to the toilet, and but anyway, in regards to peeing, because there's a lot of water in them, but they're great, they're great to get some water, and they are low on sugar. So But anyway, so taste wise, if you're just, fixing out a little cucumber for the liver thing and all that, you will probably not taste any difference in the taste. But if you're eating the cucumbers, you will taste the difference in regards of, and those from Spain are utterly disgusting. It's just water, water, water. They just taste like, yeah. They don't even taste like cucumber, pretty much. They just taste of nothing. They just have this boring, sad taste. Anyway, and the Danish cucumbers are absolutely better in taste, in the direction of what you get from the garden. But still, that's still a good way for having the real thing. But yeah. Quantity over quality. They need to sell the products, right? Money, 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 and who cares about the nutrients in the products, right? So, yeah, we're not really focused on that. And people get sick and die too early and all that because we are too stupid. Yeah. And the women ran out of the kitchen, right? So we have no idea how to make food anymore either. All the knowledge from the past in regards to food has just vanished out the window because the women ran out from the kitchen. And now the women have issues. Not only the women, but men as well, and the children. You see, it gives a huge amount of problems when you're not getting the, keeping your, the women are the food, they have the babies, right? And if they don't get the nutrients they need, the babies might get into problems, right? You see, the whole thing just falls apart, The man can't keep strong because he's not getting the nutrition that he needs. The woman is not supporting him with good nutrition. She can't even, nourish herself in regards to good nutrition. And thereby she has problem getting pregnant, and if she gets pregnant, there's a risk that the child will have problems, as the mother might actually also have problems because she's low on nutrients. And so it's a whole rolling ball down the hill, and it's just, and then life becomes dragging when you get one sickness after another, and the quality of life goes downhill. Anyway, so, and of course nowadays, women are just man-haters, right? There's a lot of man-haters out there, and murderous, whoring man-haters. That's the feminist. Anyway, you shouldn't talk about anything in regards to the kitchen, right? In regards to a woman. Oh, no. Then you are a man, chauvinist and all that bullshit. And they don't even know that it's for their own sake because they are the, in regards to nutrition, that's they need to keep on in regards to nutrition, because if they don't, in regards to children, it's and the overall family. So that support piece is just pretty much blown out of the window. And again, the man is then becoming weak, and he's not getting the support from the woman, and she's attacking him and trying to take his place and all that, because it's apparently better to have a hormonal disturbed woman to lead the family than a man, right? The logic of women is just out the door. Actually, there's no logic in regards to women. It's out the door. It's like analog, woo, and feeling emotions and whatever, And they, of course, believe they are goddesses nowadays, right? Anyway, so, all this. Anyway, I should stop now. Incredible. Of course, it's not all women, but a huge amount of them in our days are just totally, yeah. Anyway, I should stop now. May Jehovah be with you, and Yeshua be a most precious pearl, and the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, be in us all. Amen. And I'm going to eat some meat. Yummy, yummy.